Let's do some work on the move at the end of the kicks, turn and strike with heel. So first let me just do it once. So, first about the spin. When you come from separate left, just bring your knee so that it's pointing straight ahead. You don't want to twist yourself up too much because it'll unbalance you and make it all the more difficult to pull the spin off. So, let the knee just come in and the waist turn enough to bring you to the front. The left arm makes like a ward off. It's like sitting on the edge of the cylinder of your torso. And you can think about all this space as being what you're going to turn. At the same time, make sure that the right hand has some awareness in it. Jane used to tell us, put the idea in the heart of your right palm. Now, that doesn't mean that then the move comes from the right palm, but if you're overly focused on the turn and you don't have this counterbalance out there, that will also make the turn more difficult. So, when you come back in from separate left, think about turning this whole space as a unit. As you do that, your right arm just swings around. So this is different from the separates where your hand comes up and over. When you do this one, it just comes around with your turning. The right hand ends up on the outside. So taking it from the spin, everything comes in and you turn the whole thing together. You're aiming to send your right foot to the wall. Let your awareness land here, get your balance. It's okay if you have to put your left toes down to catch you. The likelihood that I won't lose my balance once in this little session here is low, so don't be worried about it if that happens to you. Do let it be as easy as possible to regain your balance. If the turn is more than you can do, you've got the wrong footwear, the surface you're on isn't right, or you're just not feeling it, or whatever, go ahead and make the turn happen as smoothly as possible without actually rotating on one foot. So by that I mean, everything comes in, and it's like I'm about to turn, but I'm just going to put my left foot down, shift the weight into it, pivot my right foot as my body turns and my hands cross, and now I'm back in my right foot and I'm ready for the kick. So make it a smooth turn, as smooth as possible, whether or not you spin on one leg. So whether or not you're going to spin, when you get to this point, let there be a moment that you sink and then use the rebound out of the ground to help you make the turn. And if you're not going to spin on it, you can still let the weight sink down into the ground and let the rebound send you around. Now for the kick itself. And this is true in the separates, and golden pheasant stands on one leg as well. It may be useful to spend a little time using something like a wall to help you get your balance and figure out where your body needs to be to pull this off, because these are challenging moves. So just a little bit of help to relax the body, having something to hold on to. With this one, you want the knee to come straight up And see how I'm grabbing it underneath me here? That's the way that the kick happens. The knee comes up, and then the foot comes up to deliver the strike with heel. It is a heel strike, so it's as if the foot does this, not that. It's not a push. So a push kick, watch what happens. My knee comes up, and when I'm ready to push, the knee's going to fall down if I just push out. So rather than do this, I want to do this, where the knee stays high and the kick just happens with the heel, which is why I'm saying, go ahead, give yourself one hand under your leg, another hand to help keep your balance, and just practice this action, because that's the direction that you want to be going in. Of course, when you're doing the form, you don't stop and hold your other leg and touch the wall and everything necessarily. But that will be good practice for figuring out just what the mechanism for making this all happen is in your body. So we've got this piece. You withdraw and gather, sink, let that turn you. And now at this point, you're ready to turn more to pull off the kick, because you're just going to be facing the corner. Your dantian's in the corner, your foot's straight ahead, but the rest of you is over here. The kick has to happen in this direction. It doesn't happen here. So you've got to find a way to sink into the full leg and open at 90 degrees to it, bringing your knee up. And as that happens, the elbows drop, the hands turn, the knee comes up, and now you're in the place where you can deliver the kick. Watch the hands. I'm going to just let it move through my body rather than making a big motion with the arms. So if you let the arms help you keep the elbows dropping down so that it returns to your root, there'll be just a little bit of motion in the arms as the kick plays out through the body, but you don't want to think of it as this is one part and then this is another part. That'll pull you out of the ground and make a big motion where it's not helpful. So you've turned, you sink again, send it out, and then let it come back in. This hand folds like a brush, like it's getting ready for a brush knee. The left hand drops to protect the groin. Bhutan used to call this the Taoist sleeping posture. So from here, Then you step out. Beware of being in such a hurry to get out of here that you fall into the other leg. If you're going to fall over, go ahead and bring it back to this move. Put your toe down if you have to avoid falling over, and then make a separate step for a brush knee. If you expand, you need to let everything come back in before you expand again. So if I do the kick, and that's big, and then I fall into it, I have gone from big to big. We want to make sure there's a moment of gather before you move into the next big motion. So, it comes out, it comes back in. Then you step out to complete the move. So we'll try this another time. Do it all together. Turn and strike with heel.